hope you're well. So this video is requested by Country Gal 1. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to design a good team layout, whether that's for your presentation page or your team page. And I'm going to be talking about HTML, and I'm going to briefly mention CSS. So if you're familiar with the presentation and you click on this edit button, you can go in here and there's this HTML mode. If you click this HTML mode, you start to see all this weird text. Now don't be freaked out because I'm going to start explaining this shortly. But this allows you to do a little bit more than the normal editing mode would allow you to do. And you can do a lot of what you can do with these buttons using the HTML as well. So I'm going to be using a website here to sort of demonstrate it a little bit. And this is w3schools.com, and I'll leave a link in the description. This is a very good website if you want to learn HTML or CSS and a couple of other programming languages. So in here, you can actually, if you go on most of these tutorials, you can click try yourself. It'll open this editor. And I've already sort of started making one to start with. So this is going to basically update this in real time so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So basically HTML is made up of tags, okay? So these tags all have an opening tag and a closing tag. So just for example, this is an opening tag, okay? So this is an opening tag for a title. This is a closing tag, and the reason it's a closing tag is it's because it's got a backward slash, okay? So basically you can change the text within here. So let's, actually, you can change the text within here, but this bit is not relevant to what we're doing in a minute, so I'm just going to take that out. You don't really need that. But this is this heading here. So say for example, we wanted to change this, okay? And we click see result, changes it to Connemara Breeder for us. Now this is a heading tag, okay? So there's different types of headings, and I'm going to show you. There's heading 1, there's heading 2, okay? So you can see I've made an opening and a closing tag for header 2. And what can we write under this? Right, we'll write Twilight Connemara's, if I can spell it right, there we go. And you can see the text is smaller. That's because heading number 1 is the biggest size, heading number 2 is down a bit, then 3, 4, 5, and they progressively get smaller. So I'm going to copy these. I'm going to paste them down here. So let's just do this for the, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, and hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. So, okay, what could we have? Howrse UK, and maybe we could have Artemis. Okay, so say let's see result. So you can see the text gets smaller, okay? Now you might be thinking, okay, well, that's all well and good. Maybe you wanted to change the text font. You can change the text font. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I just wanted to let you know that you can change that. Now you might be wondering how you insert images, and I'm going to show you. So if you want to put an image in, you need an image tag. So first off, you would write your tags. So I'm just going to do my opening and closing tag first, right? But there's a little difference here with this. Basically with an image you need a source, so an src, okay? This is where you're getting the image from, okay? So let's just say, for example, we'll go on Howrse here for the purposes of this demonstration, and say you wanted a picture of a black market item, right? So let's just click on Amorphous Arms for this, okay? So if we open this image in a new tab, we get an address to this image. So basically what we want them to do is to open some quotation marks and put that in there. If we click see the result, then we get this Morpheus Arms. So you might go, oh, that image is too big. Well, you can edit the image's size. So what you need then is to edit the size of the image. Now you can do this in two different ways. I'm going to show you the hard-coded way, and then I'll show you briefly the other way. So you want to open what's called a style, okay? And you can see it here in this other one. And then with that style, and this is still before, you don't put it inside these arrows, okay? Like we did with these, okay? It's like the source, it needs to go before it. So we open that with some quotations. Then we could put in width. Let's just put in, let's put in 80 and then pixels, and let's click see the result. So you can see that makes the image smaller. Now maybe you wanted to edit the height as well, you can do that. So we would put in a semicolon and we put in the height, and let's say we want to make it really, really sillily tall. Let's go for 300 pixels and see results, so it stretches the image. okay? But maybe we don't want that, maybe we want it to be 80 by 80, so we can do that. So that's how you would put an image in, okay? Now, what I'm now going to show you is the paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag is basically where you can put in a paragraph of text, and it's very normal size text. So you might want to say, I'm a Connemara pony breeder on the game, okay? So you might want to put that in as your description, for example. And I'm just going to delete this Morpheus Arms image, okay, for now. And you might be wondering what all this is down here, and I know it probably looks kind of complicated, but I'm going to get into it now. So you've got these things called divs, okay? So I'm going to show you what a div is. So if I make an opening tag for a div and then a closing tag for a div, and I click see result, nothing seems to have happened. And you can't really see it, but I'm going to make it a bit more visible. So I'm going to use style again, and this time I'm going to use background color. So background color. Now make sure whenever you spell color, use the American spelling, because it's not the UK spelling for this. I'm going to give it a color, and let's go back to this actually, because I want to get a bit more fancy with this. Now you can write in colors like the names of most colors, but if you want to use very specific colors, you actually need this F value here, these random values over here. So this is like the hex value basically. So let's say we wanted this hex value, okay, so let's copy this hex value, okay, and put that in there and click see result, and nothing's happened. It's always weird when that happens. Have I done something wrong? Let's just check to make sure it's not that I've done something wrong here. No, right, let's make it green. See result. No, I'm doing something wrong here. Background color green. Let's put in some padding. Maybe that's what we're doing wrong. Okay, there we go. That's where we were going wrong. The div had nothing in it, so there was no size to it, so it was basically tiny. That's another way not to mess up with this, okay? So that was my fault. So that we can change that, and now I see that. So there you go. That's one thing, you know, with this, you will do things and then be like, I'm doing something wrong, and it's usually something like that. So we've just made that, okay? So say, for example, we were like, okay, but maybe you wanted this text in that color div there, okay? You can do that, so let's do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the closing tag down for this div, okay? And I'm going to take this text here, and this image, and this description. I'm going to cut all of that, I'm going to put it inside the div, and I'm going to click save result. And you can now see that all your text is inside that div, okay? But then you might say, well, I want to try like Connemara's in a different color, okay? For example, in a different colored box, right? Let's put in another div, okay? So we'll do a closing div tag, okay? And then what we'll do is style, and once again background, color, and you can, as I said, you can sort of hard code some of these in, just like name. So there you go, you can put it in red if you wanted, but if you wanted to go and get a very specific color, let's say we wanted this really, really bright color here, we could copy that and paste that there. See result, and there you go. So that is how you can put like your text and your images in divs, and you can use divs, you can use multiple divs. So if we move down here a little bit, you can see that we've got another div here, and this particular div is in black. But the color here, you can see it's got two colors. It's got background color of black and color of white. Now the color is this second color is actually referring to the color of the text. So let's just say we want it to be blue. See result, makes it blue. Maybe we want it to be yellow. So we'll do that. And it's quite, nice to sort of play around with it and sort of get used to it, especially in this editor if you're doing this. So let's, just for the purposes of this, let's remove that one that we had, that black one. Now you can see that within this heading 2, we've got 2 subdivs, okay? So what I did, and I'll show you now, so this green one, I'm going to make this, I'm going to change the color of this, I'm going to make it purple. So put that in there, see results, okay. So I'm going to just rename this as well, so we'll put this as, like, let's just for example say teams, we'll call this, and I'm in the following teams, okay. Let's just click that. So maybe you want to have a section for each of your teams, so let's go with this div number 1 here, which is referring to this blue one. And what we will do is, okay, so we'll say Mustang team. I'm part of a Mustang team. Click see result. And you can see that's updated it. So if we wanted, then what we could do is then create this subdiv and say Arab team, or whatever the name of your team for Arabs was, and this is my Arab team. So basically you can go in there and start editing as much as you want. Now I'm going to quickly show you tables. The tables are going to look a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to try and make this as easy as possible to follow. So I'm going to change the text in my table to white and see result. And there you can see that now. So say for example you wanted them in columns, right? So let's just do this now. Okay, trying to think. So BMIs for sale. Okay, and then maybe we want the next one. So column 2, which is this column, we wanted this to be stallions stud. And maybe we want column 3 to be horses for sale. Okay, click see result. And you can see we've changed that. Now we've got these rows. So BMIs for sale, let's say 30,000 E for Pandora's box. If I could actually spell Pandora's box. The next one we have, okay, let's say we have Bobby, who's 7,000 E, and we have Max, who is 4,500 E. And then for the last one where we've got horses for sale, we've got maybe, let's say, Rex, who is 40,000 E and a pass. So we're just going to see result, and you can see that that's come up. But you might think, okay, well I want these on different lines. If you wanted these on different lines, what you'd need to do is actually put a break in. So the break looks like this. So if we put see result, you can see that that's now in 2 different lines, okay, because we put in this break. And we could do it for more. So let's say we want another page break and we want to put in Joy, and that was 500 E covering. So we'll click see result. You can see that Joy is down below it, okay. Now you can get as complex with this stuff as you want. Now what I'm going to now do is I'm going to take this, all of this, and I'm going to put it into the actual Howrse presentation page. So make sure you click HTML mode. If you post all this in non-HTML mode, it's not going to do anything. Now we've posted that code in. I'm just going to cut that out for a moment and click back to normal mode, and you can see that that's actually gone in, okay. That's actually successfully been posted there. But I am going to mention something quite briefly, and it's going to be a little bit about CSS, because CSS gives you the ability to do a little bit more with the editing, and to be able to sort of, like, for example, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this, because if we are editing stuff in here, say we want to make several divs and we want them to all look the same, we'd have to go in here and every single one of them, we'd have to write them that way. But with the CSS, you can put in a script, okay? And I'm going to sort of talk about this real briefly. So I'm just going to quickly put this in here. No, actually, hold on. If you're wondering if you can bold text, center text, etc., yes, you can. You can do that. I'm just not going to be going into it in this because HTML Schools has a really good stuff there about this. Let's click see result for a minute. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. Hold on, I'll just refresh that again because I want to see, did I put that in right? I think I was supposed to put it in there. Okay, so if you want to use CSS with your stuff, basically you need to have these style tags and they need to go in what's called the head. Okay, so basically the CSS helps you overwrite certain things. So let's just say we wanted the whole body of our text to be a specific color. Okay, so you can see here the body is basically the whole page. Okay, and you can see here that all of it's grey here, and it's saying light grey. Now it's telling me to make all the headings blue, so the headings blue is telling me to make all the paragraphs green. Now when we implement this, you can see that it's actually made all of our paragraphs green. Okay, so if we go in here and let's change this up a bit. So let's say we want it to be pink, and we want our headings to be yellow, and we wanted the background to be green, just for example. You can see that there's green, but the divs haven't changed color because we've already hard-coded them in there, right? But we've changed the title, we've changed the paragraphs, okay? But you'll notice that the table ones weren't changed. So if we wanted to change the table ones, you know, we could change that to do so within the CSS. So I'm trying to think what else we could do that I could show you with this. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to post it into the presentation so you can see. So let's go to HTML mode and we'll copy that and paste it in and click normal mode, and you can see that it's done what we wanted it to do. So this is a really general basic one, and yes, you can put images in the background behind divs and things like that. So if you want to put images actually behind, you can do that. There's ways to do that. Have a look on that website to get more information on how to do different things, because there's loads and loads of stuff there, more than I can cover in one video. So anyway guys, I want to say thank you to CountryGal1 for requesting the video. I hope you had a lovely day.